No interruptions now, please. Right, tonight is active recovery night, okay? We're exercising for recovery, would you believe it? I want you to grab a hold of a wall and I want you to get straight into our leg swing sequence. We don't need a full intensive warm-up tonight. This isn't one of these low intensity workouts where you get lured in thinking you're in for an easy one and then it's awful. This is a true low intensity recovery workout tonight. The exercises, there's not a lot of dynamic exercises in there, if any. So it's going to be movements that are getting you moving through different ranges of movement, getting you moving, getting the blood flowing, loosening off the muscles, and giving you a chance to practice some other exercises as we go in a nice kind of chilled environment. So there's no real weight tonight. You can see my skipping ropes out, and I've got my lightest kettlebell out. And the reason for that is there's single leg Romanian deadlifts in there. So I'm going to use a little bit of weight, okay? But you don't need weight, so please don't disappear. If you don't have a kettlebell, they can be done with nothing at all, or a household object. The purpose is just to get extra practice in for people that are needing it. My skipping rope's out because there is skipping, but it's going to be slow and chilled. If you don't have a skipping rope, you're going to be doing shadow skipping, okay? So again, it doesn't really matter. I don't want people running off to the other side of their house trying to dig all this stuff out of a cupboard. So we're going for our usual hip sequence. Swings, side swings, and toe touches. We're getting these hips loosened off in all the big muscle groups, in and around. But we don't need to concern ourselves too much with elevating that heart rate for this warm-up. Because tonight's circuit, once you've finished it, it's probably going to feel like a really long warm-up. You're going to feel loosened off. You're going to get a wee bit of a sweat on. And hopefully mentally, more than anything, you're getting the benefits of exercise, and the reason why you do exercise for a lot of people, without feeling like you've severely knocked your pan in. So while rest is good, active recovery, if you're true to it, I said not doing anything demanding on your body, can help speed up your recovery, okay? Sitting about doing hee-haw, there's times and places for it, okay? But a lot of the time, that just results in you seizing up. So when I'm doing my hip hinges, as always, I'm pushing those hips back. And if you're doing it correctly, I'm standing up tall and proud. I've got my arms hanging down by my side as if I'm holding a kettlebell. I'm pushing my hips back, 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 back. And as a result, my hands should touch in between my feet, in line with my feet, should I say. They shouldn't be way out in front. If they're way out in front, you're leaning forward. So just work on pushing those hips all the way back. Keep practicing it, okay? Because this forms, this is pretty much a Romanian deadlift when you think about it. Okay, so we're pushing those hips back, 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 squeezing the butt through. From here, I'm going to get my knees together, my feet together, grab a hold of my knees, and I'm just going to do my nice, slow ankle warm-up and getting the knee joints nice and greased, okay? So all I'm doing here, I've got my knees squeezed together, I've got my ankles squeezed together, I'm pushing my knees forwards, almost like as if I was squatting. Don't let the heels come off. You may feel a good stretch in the ankles, but more than anything, we're just getting these knees going, okay? And then from here, we're going to shake out, and we're just going to slowly mobilize ourselves into our squats. So we're going to set ourselves up for the perfect squat, and I want you to take charge of yourself, okay? I'm going to squat down, squat down, squat down to the best depth you're able to. Elbows into the knees, force the chest up. Hoot! If you missed this morning's mobility class, we were focusing on squats and squat depth, okay? So maybe today's class is one that you'd be worth bookmarking if your squats need work. If your ankles are tight especially, groin's feeling a bit tight, that's what we focused on today. So let's get it done. I'm down there, I'm mobilizing myself into my squat. You're doing the same at your own pace. Don't pay lip service to it because we're trying to get you warmed up. Hit and unlock the range you've already got, so we shouldn't be feeling stiff after this. If you want to throw in a bit of rotations, you can. They'll be coming into it tonight as well. We'll be working on mobility while we're working out tonight. Getting a lot in it. So pretty slow-paced workout tonight. Nice and chilled. Enjoy it. We don't do it often. Enjoy the low-intensity workouts. I certainly will, and I'm sure you all will too. Okay, we don't need to be knocking our pan in severely every day of the week. From here, we're going to start jogging on the spot, and we're just going to do a nice condensed shoulder warm-up. Okay, so we're jogging on the spot. Get the breathing going for a few big breaths, clear the head, clear the mind, get yourself in the zone, chest proud, shoulder blades pulled together, and let's start pulling those arms back. Nice and slowly to begin with. If things are feeling a bit stiff and a bit sore, Take your time with it and build it up to a nice fluid and dynamic chest swing. Good. So like I say, you don't need a single bit of equipment tonight, but if you do have a skipping rope nearby, especially if you need to practice, what better time to practice skipping in a low intensity environment? And if you've got a weight or a kettlebell, something light, feel free to use that for the Romanian deadlifts. But apart from that, straight arms up, you really don't need anything at all. And I'll leave that down to you. So again, if things are feeling tight, keep those shoulder blades pulled together, keep the chest up proud, don't arch the lower back, bit of tension on the glutes, and then we're going to go for jumping jack style arms. Focus on your breathing. Now it's a low intensity workout, you're still working, you're still going to be getting a sweat on. Okay, I want you to still focus on the highest quality repetitions you can do, okay? You're still exercising to the full. What makes it low intensity is the exercise choice. Relax there, shoulder shrugs up and forwards. It's the exercise choice and also the timings that make it low intensity, okay? So still work. And even when you work, you shouldn't feel like you're knocking your pan in severely. Heart rate's going to get up, going to get a sweat on, burn some calories, but not inflict damage to our body that's going to require recovery or impair already what we're trying to recover from. Right, set yourself up everybody, 60 seconds. 30 seconds and tonight's circuit begins. It's going to be slow paced. It's going to be 30 seconds on an exercise with 30 seconds off. It's going to feel a bit weird. Okay, we've not done anything like this for a while. It's going to feel a bit weird. You're going to have so much time on your hands, you could probably do a spot of housework or gardening in between each exercise. The first exercise is spot sprints. Okay, like I say, it's a low intensity workout, but that doesn't mean to say spot sprints become something like this now. You're still spot sprinting, okay? Stand by. 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm away. I'm jogging on the spot as fast as I can, and I want you to really chop these arms. We're still trying to get the heart rate up, okay? We're getting that blood pumping. That blood's filled with nutrients that's going to help get us recovered. Get it into all those muscles, get the heart rate up. Getting the heart rate up is going to waken us up and make us feel good, more productive. 10 seconds, still work hard, remember. You'll get 30 seconds off after this. 30 seconds. Relax, 30 seconds, chill out. Okay, but don't chill out too much. Keep yourself moving. The next exercise, everybody, is going to be a squat with a leg raise. Now with this, I really want you to focus on foot placement. Okay, so we're going to squat down, squeeze the butt, lift the leg, back down, squat. Okay, I want you to really get that leg as high as you can. Now what that's going to make you do, stand by 5 seconds, is make sure you're setting up perfectly every time. Drive the toes hard into the ground. Stand by, go. Squat down, up, lift, down. Don't start, I'm showing you sideways now. Don't start descending into your squat as in dipping down. Keep it tight. Lift the knee up. Keep the chest proud. Really focus on depth. I want you to feel that stretch in the groin if things are feeling a bit tight. Pause at the bottom if you need to. Purpose of this, loosen us off. Okay, it's to loosen us off and give you a real chance, relax, to focus on your technique and your setup, because every time we've got to set up again, don't we? Right, from here, we're onto a shoulder tap T rotation. Easier just to show you this one, so pay attention. Tight position, don't lift your butt up in the air. Feet together, knees together. 1, 2, and then we're going 1 rotation, 2 rotation. I'm trying to keep my pelvis facing downwards. Stand by. Shoulder tap 1, shoulder tap 2, rotation 1, rotation 2. Working that thoracic spine. I want you to feel like you're twisting from the upper back. Don't lift the bum up. You'll feel the core working on this one. Slow paced. Core exercise combined with a thoracic spine mobility movement. Very important one at that. Try to keep your arms locked out nice and straight. Try to keep the hips down. Fantastic, everybody. So really focus on this rotation from the trunk, from the core, working that thoracic spine. If things are tight, don't give in to them by bending the arm. Take it as far as you can with that straight arm, pause, squeeze, Next exercise, stand up, shake out. We're going for a dorsal raise. Dorsal raise, nice controlled strength exercise for the lower back. With this, I really want you to emphasize on lifting and pulling the elbows back as high as you can, okay? Do it properly. Hit, pause, down. Up explosively, pause, squeeze, down. On the pause, you're not actually pausing, you're trying to go even higher. You're squeezing, contracting. Lift the elbows high as you can. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Up, pause, squeeze, down. Really thinking about that lower back. We're keeping the legs on the ground, trying to take it as high as you can. Imagine you're trying to get your belly button off the ground. Okay, but so high. Each time, okay, it just gets a little bit harder as we fatigue. Right, next up is a Turkish get-up. Do not, okay, for the purpose of this, do not use a kettlebell. I want you to use hee-haw, okay? At most, use a water bottle, okay? But all I'm doing here, I'm practicing my Turkish get-up. Now, because you haven't got a weight, you need to pretend you have. Keep this arm pointing towards the sky at all times. Don't get lazy because you don't have a weight, okay? Stand by. If you don't know what a Turkish get-up is, okay, that is not my fault at this at this moment in time. You've been warned about them so much now. Take your time, don't rush them. Pretend you've got the heaviest kettlebell above your head. So you should be still, trying to be explosive, trying to do this properly. Don't be lazy. Don't bend the arm. Don't be soft with it. When you're sitting up, sit up explosively. Punch. Bridge the hips high. Always making sure, relax there. Always making sure that arm's pointing up, okay? Because remember, if we're even holding any weight and that arm starts to fly off to the side, whew, it's going to be bad. Right, we're doing the other side, but I encourage you, stand up and shake out because you've got 30 seconds. Don't sit down. Callum, get up off your hooky. There we go. Good. Right, focus on your breathing. Anya, what are you doing? 5 seconds, let's go for it. Other side now. Again, we're trying to think about technique. Punch, punch. This has given us a chance in a nice, controlled, chilled environment to really break down the movement. Now I want you, everybody, to think about being powerful, explosive. Now see this part, bridge up. See when you're bridging up to get that leg under into the lunge position, you need to be bridging those hips very high. That's where a lot of people go wrong also. They're lazy with it. Punch up, bridge. Okay, good. If you look at me now, make sure when you're coming up from here, you're bridging all the way like a glute bridge. A lot of people are lazy with it and just go like this. And then they wonder why they can't get the leg through. And then they end up stepping and they're halfway across the living room, okay? Get those hips up. Your next exercise, everybody, is a slow, chilled skip. And if you don't have a skipping rope, just pretend. Sounds ridiculous, I know, but it's the same idea. I don't want you going fast. This is just chilled. Nice and chilled. Focus on breathing. Good. Nice and light on the toes. Think about these wrists. That's where we should be spinning the rope from the wrists. Elbows relaxed by the side. Nice and light on the toes. Try and bring your jump down so it feels like you're hardly even getting the toes off the ground. Okay, practice that. Again, the purpose of today is recovery, but practice as well. It's given us a chance. If your skipping's not great, it'll get better if you practice it. But the amount of people that write that exercise off because they can't do it, okay, it's crazy. Right, this is where I'm getting, for me personally, a lighter weight out. You don't need one. If you've got one, you can use one. It's a single leg Romanian deadlift. I would like you to do at least 2 reps before you go single-legged to make sure you actually know what you're doing. I'm just going to start now. Remember, everybody, back to the warm-up when we're pushing those hips back, it's exactly the same. People get bogged down when they have to lift a leg off the ground. They focus on lifting the leg, they lean forwards, kettlebells way out in front of the foot, and the back arch. The back's arch, we don't want that. It's still chest proud, hips back, 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 back. Feeling the stretch in your hamstrings, feeling the glutes and the lower back working to support you in the core. Okay, relax there. So again, you can watch me for a few. Hips back, hips back, hips back, hips back, hips back. See how the kettlebell travels down my leg, over my foot? That's how you know you're putting your hips back. If you lean forwards, but way over here, look at the state of my back. Okay, you're going to hurt yourself. Practice it, and that's why I would rather you practice it with either lightweight or no weight. Relax, everybody, that's 1 round done. Okay, we're going for 3 run-throughs tonight. So as you can hear, it is pretty chilled. Hopefully at home, your heart rate's elevated. You've got a wee bead of a sweat on, but you certainly don't feel like you're in the middle of doing a 10-minute workout, everybody, okay? So in 30 seconds, we're going to get straight into round number 2. So like I said, enjoy it. We don't do these often. If you're working hard all the time, enjoy the easy circuits, etc., the easy workouts. You need them in there, okay? You need to have a bit of fun. And while this might be everybody's idea of fun, you'll probably enjoy the fact that you're not severely knocking your pan in, rolling about on the floor, trying to find a spare lung to breathe through. Right, are we ready for this? Spot sprints, everybody. Again, we're not taking the spot sprints easy. Let's go. Chop those arms. And just think about high knees. Don't think about being fast on the feet, because that's usually when people end up making a mess of it. Think high knees, but no quite. And that's why I try to drive my arms fast, because if you drive your arms fast, your feet usually go in time with them. Not always, but for most people, they will. Hit it hard, hit it hard, hit it hard. Nice and light, on the toes. Good, 3 seconds. Chop, 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 chop. Good, relax. Bloody microphone. Right, next exercise, squat with a leg raise. Purpose is to mobilize yourself into a squat. Treat it like a dynamic stretch. So get a good pause at the bottom, a good stretch out, pardon me. And for you to practice your technique, your setup. Because every time, we have to set up again, don't we? So try to think about where you're putting your foot. 3 seconds, and drive your toes hard into the ground. Let's go. Up, squeeze the butt, lift the leg, and really think about lifting that leg as high as you can. Keep the chest proud. Remember, hit the depth that you're able to. Really push the depth of your squat without losing form, of course. Really drive those toes into the ground. Really feel like your whole foot is evenly distributed across the ground. You're not driving through the toes. You're not driving through the heels. You're driving through the foot. Good. Relax. So next up, we're doing our shoulder taps with our T rotations. Again, when you're doing them, we want to be in this tight position here. Feet together, knees together, core squeezed. Don't let this happen, okay? When that's going to happen is usually when people start doing this. I've lifted the hips up. There's nothing going on here now. Okay, stand by. 2 shoulder taps, nice and controlled shoulder taps. Let's call them shoulder grabs. Okay, grab 1, grab 2, the core's tight. Rotate, rotate, good. And if you want, you can mix it up by changing what side you start on each time, if you can even remember, because I've already forgotten. But with these T rotations, you're keeping your eyes on the fingertips. And remember, you're trying to keep your pelvis / belly button pointing down as much as you can. Keep that rotation in the upper back. Good work. Fantastic. Right, next exercise. It's a dorsal raise, but we're going to get up. Okay, we're going to get up. Regulate yourself. We're not going to sit down too long. A few big breaths, wee sip of water if you like. A wee wander around. Plan the rest of your night. Plan the rest of your week. You should be feeling clearer in the head now. Now's the time to do it. Good. Right. Dorsal raises. Stand by. Remember, focus on the squeeze. Up, squeeze, pause, down. Up, squeeze, pause, down. Really try. Imagine you can't get those elbows. You cannot get those elbows higher. Okay, really go for it. Get them up. Down, pause, up. As soon as you're down, you're straight back up again. Down and up. We're up explosively, we're up powerfully. Make sure you're not throwing your head back, okay? Maybe just looking a few inches in front of your nose. And you'll feel this one. You'll definitely feel that one. If you're really going for those squeezes, those contractions, okay, you really feel it rep after rep, you getting tired. Stand back up, shake out. Right, we're going into Turkish get-ups again. So, once again, it's not meant to be easy. It's not why we're using weight, not using weight, should I say. The purpose is for you to really fine-tune things. Really think of this part. That's what I want on your glute bridge. It's a glute bridge, okay? Let's go for it. Power up, punch that hand, bridge the hips, leg under. Work the obliques and core until you're vertical, lunge stand out of it. Big lunge back, hand on, bridge those hips as you bring that leg through, onto the forearm. Control the collapse to the ground, don't just drop like a sack of potatoes. Punch, hips up, good. Think about that heavy kettlebell that you've got in your hand. Think about it. What would you be doing if this kettlebell was real heavy? Okay, you certainly wouldn't be letting that arm flare around, and you certainly wouldn't have your elbow bent. Okay, what are we doing? Get up on your feet. Good, good. We're not used to this 30 seconds rest. Well done, everybody. 10 seconds. Notice how I'm talking a lot smoother tonight. We're very chilled vibe going on. I can't remember what side I've done now. Right, go for it. Maybe too chilled then. Really think about that bridge. Really focus on keeping that arm straight. Pretend you've got such a heavy kettlebell. You're really concentrating. Keeping that arm punched. Keeping that shoulder blade pulled tight. Keeping the shoulder stable as a result. Not rushing the transitions. When we're going from elbow to the ground, make sure you keep the core tight. Thank you. Good. So I've been telling you about this as well when it comes to sit-ups. When people go from here to the ground, a lot of the time, they let the lower back collapse. See what I'm doing? Collapse the lower back, and then it kind of slinkies into the ground shape. We don't want that. We want to keep the chest proud. Come down under control. Feel the core engage, okay? We've still got a lot of weight above our head, and we need to watch what we're doing with those lower backs. Slow skipping in 3 seconds, whether it's with a rope or whether it's with a pretend rope, we're away, okay? Nice and slow. If you're just learning how to skip or you're not so good, or you're jumping real high, try to slow it down a wee bit. Don't jump so high, that's your next goal. You'll become faster and you'll save a lot of energy. You want to just be lifting your feet off the ground enough to get that rope underneath, but that takes practice. And believe it or not, the day I got good at skipping was the day I stopped thinking about skipping. And I think a lot of people could do with that lesson in life. Don't overthink things, okay? Just do it. You'll be surprised by how well you can do it when you don't think about it too much. Keep it simple, it's simple. For me, I talk through it or I look out the corner of my eye. That works for me, don't ask me why. But if I stare at something out the corner of my eye, for some reason I can skip well. But if I look dead straight on, nah, ain't happening. So single leg Romanians. Everybody's going to be doing skipping with a squint now, aren't they? So not an exercise to be rushed. And it's perfectly normal, especially in the early times when you're just learning and mastering this movement, to be a wee bit wobbly. But remember, you're not being soft on your feet. You are driving those toes hard into the ground, gripping the ground, using those muscles within your feet to stabilize your body, he says as he starts falling off to the side. But you get my point. Don't just let your foot relax into the ground, okay? Drive those feet into the ground. It's going to help minimize you wobbling all over the shop. Right, fantastic. That's round 2 done. If you need a sip of water, get one. This is the 3rd and final round. I won't lie to you, everybody. I'm enjoying this. This is good. It's been a while since we've done anything like this. We used to do it every Thursday. What happened? Right, 30 seconds. Used to love Thursdays. Used to even be called Therapeutic Thursday until recently it's just been helpful leather every day. Right, we're going for it again, the last run through. It is what it is, okay? 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest. Keep working as hard as you can on technique and just getting everything feeling right and good. And more importantly, just getting yourself moving and getting a wee bit of a sweat on. 5 seconds, we're into our spot sprints. Again, really try and go for this one. 3, 2, 1, hit! Drive those arms, chop, 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 chop. Good. Good work, everybody. Nice and light on the toes. Heels aren't even coming into it. Not getting enough time. I'm so fast off the ground. My foot doesn't get a chance to collapse and it's straight back off again. 5 seconds. Probably the hardest exercise in the whole circuit. Good. Well done. Right, squat with a leg raise. All about control. Really try to lift that leg as high as you can. And when you're lifting the leg, I keep my hands here. You don't have to, but I try to bring my leg up to the center, okay? So rather than doing a bit of that, try to bring it high up to the center. Feel the core working. 10 seconds, so much time. Good. So we'll set myself up for a good squat, and every time your foot comes back into contact with that ground, squeeze those toes into the ground. Go, squatting down, pull the knees apart, and up, lift high. Squeeze those toes into the ground every time. Nice and controlled, nice and easy. Nearly there. 5 seconds, everybody. Well done. Shoulder taps next with our T rotation. Again, keeping it simple, keeping it controlled. Slow it down. Really think about those hips. Don't let those hips lift up. Really think about the rotations. So let's say I've got poor mobility in the upper body with the thoracic spine. It's going to look a bit like this. Don't then try to do that. Take it as far as you can, Can't go any further, I'm going to bend my arm. That's where you take it to, okay? Let's go. Shoulder grab 1, shoulder grab 2, rotation 1, followed by rotation 2. Shoulder grab 1, shoulder grab 2, rotation 1, rotation 2. Nice and controlled. Think about those hips. Don't let them lift. Don't let them sway. Take control. Squeeze the butt and squeeze the core. It's going to help lock them in. Well done. Once again, stand up. Good. Dorsal raises next. Nice strength exercise for those lower backs. Focus on trying to take it as high as you can. Focus on trying to get those elbows back as far as you can. And as well as the lower back, if you're doing that, pulling those elbows back, you're going to feel those upper back muscles in the back of your shoulders working too. Let's go for it. 5 seconds, so get yourself set up. Arms out at 90 degrees. And let's go. Squeezing down, up. So I want you to get down on the ground, straight back up, powerfully. It's about good quality reps. You're definitely going to feel fatigue kicking in, as in you're going to feel yourself getting tired. If you're doing this properly, it's a tough exercise. Make sure you're not looking dead set forward, otherwise you're putting hellish strain on your neck. Should not feel this one on your neck. Good. Brilliant. Right, we're standing up once again. Shaking out, and now we're back into our Turkish get-ups. Into our Turkish get-ups, fine-tuning it. Again, think about the points I'm telling you about here. Okay, don't just let your lower back collapse back down into the ground. Keep the chest proud. Think of those sit-ups I'm teaching you. We're trying to keep it tight rather than just go like that where we're letting out the spine shape into the ground. Keep everything nice and tight. Stand by. Punch onto the hand. Punch the hand, bridge up, leg through, and then take it from there. Think about that shoulder. That shoulder should not feel soft. That arm should not feel relaxed. It should feel solid. And when we stand up, we squeeze the butt, don't we? But hopefully, you're in the habit of doing that now regardless. Okay, here's another point while we're resting, okay? This is more a safety point as well to prevent injury. But see when you're coming up, and you're in this position here, so you've punched that hand hard into the ground, you've locked out, you must keep the chest proud, you must keep the shoulder blades pulled together. Don't be looking like this, okay? So we're like this, see my shoulder? Don't be having it like that, so it's all pulled out the socket. You've got all that stress and strain on it. Keep it proud, keep it shoulder blades pulled together, okay? Stand by, go. Chest proud. So there's a reason why. There really is, believe it or not. A reason why I always harp on about these little things like shoulder blades pulled together, chest proud. Because it comes into pretty much a lot of the exercises you're doing. And if you're doing it naturally from the get-go, you're going to be better off in the long run. And you're not going to have to think about it too much. Good, well done. So grab your imaginary skipping rope if you don't have one, or grab your skipping rope if you've got one. And it's going to be 30 seconds nice and chilled. 2 more exercises, and then you're done. Stand by. So nice and chilled. Think about technique. Think about trying to make your skipping better. How can I make this better? How could I be faster? How could I bring my jump height down a little bit? Stand by. Good, go. And the place where people usually go wrong is they let their arms go far too far out from their body. Rope gets shorter, and that happens. Okay, so try to keep your elbows by your side, not punched inside, just nice and relaxed. Try and think about keeping those elbows at the same point, and just nice and gently rotate those wrists. Chest proud, shoulder blades pulled together. Bit of tension on the glutes. Good, fantastic. And you can put that away because we're done with it. Finally, to finish, we'll be going nicely into our single leg Romanian deadlift, whether that's with or without weight. Only using weight if you're feeling confident enough with the movement pattern, okay? Hips, back. Don't just think about lifting the leg. Think about nothing other than keeping this part of your body, the position it's in just now, solid, neutral spine, as you push those hips back. And the kettlebell's pretty much coming over your foot, in line with your foot. So all the more reason to make sure you're gripping that thing tight, which you should be. Because if you've got a relaxed grip of it, that chilled out state's going to come up into your shoulders, into your upper body, and when you start going forwards, you'll feel your shoulder blades starting to come apart as your shoulders round. We don't want that. Remember, from the tailbone to the top of your skull, nothing moves, okay? Nothing moves. The hips are moving. Thank you very much, everybody. That's a low intensity workout. If you've never done one before, hopefully it lived true to the name. Hopefully you're feeling like you've done a low intensity workout, giving you a bit of practice, and more than anything, like I say, getting us moving, getting the blood flowing, getting fresh blood and nutrients into those muscles, and also working on a bit of mobility at the same time, and getting a bit of technique on some of those movements at the same time. So that that workout shouldn't impair your recovery. So let's say you had a hard workout yesterday, a hard training week, you've put a lot of load on your body, you've accumulated a lot of stress that needs to be recovered from. That should help maybe speed things up a little bit. It certainly shouldn't slow things down. Sitting on your backside all day with your feet up isn't quite what we mean by having a rest day, okay? You'll probably find if you do that, the next day, you don't feel very well rested, you don't feel very well recovered. So remember that. Make sure you're putting plenty of low intensity workouts into your training week. It shouldn't all just be hell for leather, okay? Because you're going to find that you end up just starting to go on the performance chart, even though you're still trying to give it your all. Thank you very much. Have a good night, and can't believe it's Thursday again, but I'll see you all when I see you. Thank you very much.